So, it's all come down to this. Well. What is there to say after all is said and done? Blimey. Welcome to the Loki spoiler review for episode 6 of the TV show Loki on Disney Plus from Marvel Studios. Well, before we begin, some admin. This is the last of the Loki review videos, and over the past 6 weeks I've learned some interesting things, which is mostly that these are not popular, and that's fine. It was an experiment, and one that I wanted to see through until the end, and here we are at the bitter end, and the experiment has failed, but I've done it. For those of you who saw this channel years ago, I think one of the last things that I tried to do before I stopped making ASMR videos the first time round was to try to get a regular weekly series off the ground, a sort of a whodunit kind of thing, and that lasted for 1 episode. So I'm pretty pleased with myself that I've made it through not only the 6 episodes of Loki, but also the Black Widow movie. It's kind of interesting to watch the tail off, as it stands at this point in time. Each week's video has less views than the one before it, which I know makes a kind of sense, because fewer people will have seen it, but it's not that. People have stopped watching, and only the devoted remain. So, starting next week, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to attempt more traditional ASMR videos. Don't get too excited, but I am going to kick off with a sequel to my most watched video ever. And if you know what that is, I'll see if I've got a little hint for you. This is my little hint for you. So we'll see where that goes. But yes, the review videos format not really been a great success, which is a pity, because I wanted to try something different. I wanted to try something that I wanted to do, and it hasn't really worked out for me. That's fine. Not just on YouTube in terms of views, but also, I went to Reddit to leave these videos on some subreddits, and hopefully, get some more traction from a wider audience, let's say. And the Marvel Studios official Reddit subreddit, when I posted these review videos there, they permanently banned me. Don't know if you can see. You've been permanently banned. this. Apparently, it's self promotion, which they're not into on Reddit. Which I'm not a big Redditor, or even a small one. I don't really know how it works, but obviously, what I was doing was not the way it works. So, whoops. Dear. What are you gonna do? Before we begin, I'd like everyone to do me a little favour. Every 100 and something of you that are watching, out of the 8,000 subscribers that I have, thanks to you guys. Regardless of if you like this video or not in real life, please leave a thumbs up on the thing. And if you're not already subscribed, but I suspect most of you watching this are, please smash the heck out of that subscribe button and click the bell icon or whatever it is. And if you could also just leave a comment in the comment section that just says, I don't know, whatever, hello, or whatever. I think that, I could be wrong, but I think that the way the algorithm works is that the more engagement a video has, the higher chances it has of being seen by other people. So if you could just engage with the heck out of this video, as it's the last one of these, I would extremely appreciate that. And, you know, it doesn't take much, it's just a click of a button, even if it's not something you believe in, and you don't like this video. If you could just click the thumbs up icon anyway, it doesn't affect your day in any way whatsoever. But it is very much life and death to me. That would be great, thank you. And if anybody has a spare couple of quid and wants to help support this channel, please, I'm begging you, please go to the Patreon and just have a look around, see if it's something of interest to you. Any support would be massively appreciated. Thank you. Right. Loki, then, the ultimate episode of this series, because, spoiler alert, there's going to be a season 2. Oh yes. And what does that mean? Well, it means that some questions are answered, but then more questions are posed at the end of this in a kind of cliffhanger situation. So, anyone looking for a kind of, excuse me, some cat hair up my nose. Anyone looking for a nice, tidy, wrapped with a bow conclusion to this series, nope, not gonna happen. I've seen some interesting theories about who the big bad could be, and do you know the YouTube channel Film Theory? Who, by the way, their video from yesterday, I noticed, has taken my thumbnail style of, it's called duotone, where it's just 2 colours, and they've applied that to their Loki video, which is, you know, maybe it's a coincidence, but who can possibly say? But yes, the Film Theory YouTube channel suggested yesterday that that the big bad would in fact be Renslayer. I think her name, the actor, is Gugu Mbatha-Raw. I think she was in Doctor Who years ago. yes, they suggested that I haven't read the comics, so I don't know, but that she's such a kind of non-entity character in the comics that it stood to reason that Marvel were going to do something unexpected and turn her into the big bad. I myself was 100% convinced, 100% convinced that Owen Wilson would turn out to be the big bad. He would go back in time to the TVA last week, and then they'd get to the castle, the two Lokis, and he'd just be sitting there on his jet ski. Wow. But none of that happened. That's fine. We'll get to that. But I want to start at the very beginning of this episode, in which the theme tune is a bit different and the format of the opening of the episode is a little different. This week they seem to have ripped off the film Contact, the 1997 Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey space travel film, alien contact film, Contact, and the opening of the episode is a sort of zoom out of the universe. You know, you start quite close in on planet or nebula or something, and then you zoom out and you hear all these like clips from, I think they're other Marvel films, I guess. You also hear them over the Marvel Studios logo, and then maybe it's radio broadcasts or something, but it's zooming out through time and space, zooming until you get an overview, you see. And that's Robert Zemeckis from Contact. That's just ripped off straight from that film. Which maybe they thought that Matthew McConaughey was Owen Wilson, and they were doing a tribute to a former film of his. But of course it wasn't him. Although this isn't the first time that people have kind of switched those two over. I'm pretty certain that Owen Wilson was supposed to be in the 2008 film Tropic Thunder, which also starred Iron Man, didn't it? In blackface. But yes, he was supposed to play the character that Matthew McConaughey ended up playing. So, you know, maybe McConaughey and Owen Wilson are variants of each other. Who can say? But yes. Well, there we go. So it begins with a complete rip-off, and then, sort of interestingly, the format that Marvel TV shows have taken thus far, and you know, some of their films as well, quite a few of their films as well, is that they will end, the final episode will be some kind of epic showdown, a big, you know, punch up in the sky, flying and punching, with big lasers and shooting and all of this nonsense. That was expected by several commentators for this episode, and it didn't happen. What you got instead was, in fact, a rip-off of this format again, wherein they're just kind of sitting at a desk, talking. So, yeah, another kind of exposition dump, which I don't know if it was particularly interesting, but it went on for quite a while. So, apologies if you can hear people pattering around in the background. It's moving day, seemingly, here today. Nobody's moving out, they're just moving around, and I wish they'd keep still. result in not screwing up the sacred timeline, i.e. my whispering videos here to you. So, I think they've gone now, so that's okay. So, yes, it is simply Kang the Conqueror. He's fine. He seems quite nice. But, yeah. It's the person that everyone thought that it would be. And there he is. And, he was slated, I think, to appear in the Ant-Man 3 film, Quantum Mania, I think it's called, for now. But of course they can change titles. Do you remember they were pretending that one of the Captain America films would be called Snake Captain or something? I can't remember what it was going to be called, but that was a fake out, wasn't it, before they changed it to the Winter Soldier or Civil War or whatever whichever one that was. So at the minute it's called Ant-Man 3 Quantum Mania, and the actor who plays Kang the Conqueror was supposed to appear in that film first, but they surprised us. Here he is. And after weeks of speculation from a host of internet commentators as to how they're gonna, flip the script or whatever, or it's actually gonna be, as with all the other Marvel TV shows, someone who's been there the whole time, like Agatha Harkness from WandaVision or whatever. No. This is just a new person that they're introducing today. Hence the need for the info dump, where they just sit around for most of the episode talking, which I don't think is as dull as it sounds. But you have to approach this thing as if it is a movie. This would be, as a standalone episode, not so great, but as the denouement in a long film or a binge watch, okay, that works. But they've, in their infinite wisdom, they've decided to release these things on a weekly basis. That is fine. That is their prerogative. But, my recommendation would be to binge watch. If you've been holding out, just watch it all in one sitting. One long sitting. The episodes are about 40 minutes long each, so that's, let's just bring up my calculator here, because I never learned basic arithmetic. Say an average of 40 minutes an episode times 6 episodes, that's 240 minutes divided by 60 minutes, that's 4 hours, so it's a 4-hour film. Which, of course, is the same length as Zack Snyder's Justice League, so it is possible. I watched that all in one go. It is possible. And Kang is quite interesting as a villain. Not yet. He's not a villain really. He's just trying to put everything in order. And in that sense, I see him as a sort of analogue for Kevin Feige, the head honcho of Marvel Studios. Kang says everything's laid out, but we still have to go on the journey, which is sort of like what Dr. Manhattan says in The Watchmen, isn't it? He's still a puppet, but he can see the strings. It's a bit different, the sentiment, but you get what I'm aiming at. And I think that is Kevin Feige speaking through Kang. It's all laid out. We could tell you right now what's going to happen for the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But you've got to go on a journey, don't you? Because that's what life is, really. Excuse me. That's what life is. Life is a roller coaster. But, yes, so maybe that's why they eked this show out over 6 weeks. You've got to go on that emotional journey. And if you consume everything in one go, you'll just want more straight away, and it'll never end. You'll never stop consuming. Well, that was great, but now can I have some more? What if it's launching on August the 11th, isn't it? And there's Shang-Chi and the Eternals and another Spider-Man film and Hawkeye the TV series and She-Hulk and... It never ends. And in a similar vein, I think that I'm going to edit all of these 6 videos of my Loki review together into one quite long video. Say the average length of my videos is 20 minutes times 6, that's 120 divided by 60, it'll be about a 2-hour long video, maybe a bit less than that. Maybe I can cut it down. Or maybe I'll put more stuff in, who knows. So if you wanted to watch all of these together and just let them play, maybe I'll put that up on like Sunday or something. We will see. Yeah. So, I'll leave you with a final thought that a lot of people are saying that this is like Rick and Morty. But they're wrong. It isn't. It's nothing like that. I think they're saying that because someone involved in Rick and Morty is also involved in this. But it's nothing. It's not the same at all. Anyway, this has been the Loki review series on the An Englishman Whispers YouTube channel. Has it been ASMR? I don't know. Has it been entertaining? Has it been a smash hit success? No. So, until next time.